oh yeah, hey, fuck, bud, fuck. Oh yeah, they sound like that. Oh yeah, and there's parts of the East Coast, over in Ontario, where they really have the accent like that. But I find a lot of fucking people when I go back, and talk to them from fucking Alberta, and they're just out there hacking darts and fucking driving big trucks around. Hey, bud, you know what I'm fucking saying?
Everyone, this is Shao, that's Hayden, that's Justin, and you're listening to a new episode of the Chummy Thumbs podcast, a show about the humorous parts of our everyday lives. We enjoy finding ways to laugh at ourselves, and you should too. So thank you. So thanks for letting us into your brain skulls through your ear holes, and enjoy the chumming.
Damn,
Hard G.
That was a hard G, man.
Welcome back, guys.
Easy,
As you're watching, we're back in Studs.
Let's go back in Studs.
Love being in
2 weeks
Studs.
in a row.
Hey, happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. What's up?
What are you doing for Canada Day?
Hey,
How are you celebrating?
when is it? It's on a Saturday, right?
Okay.
I'll be working. If we can, we usually go.
Well,
No, it's on. It's
It
actually
was,
on.
it was 2 days, 3 days, 2 days ago,
Yeah.
actually.
What did I do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Yeah, what did
Yeah,
I
hey,
do?
what'd you do?
It was
Like work, and we probably went to the fireworks in Surrey.
If you can't tell, we're
Well,
obviously
he
recording.
got time and a half, does he not?
Triple time. Coca-Cola pays really well.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell to the
What's
yeah.
that? I'm seasonal, and they'll probably go, we don't have any work for you today, so have the day off.
There
That
you go.
said, all that drama that we had last week about trying to organize, sorry, not last week, probably like 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
We were trying to organize to get a session together, a
Yeah.
recording session. And I was like, oh, I might not be working because they emailed me at the start of the week going, no one's working this week. There's not enough sales, so there's not enough work. And then I ended up working every day of that week. So I was like, I'll take the money.
Making that money, man.
That
Yeah.
bad money.
What are you saving up for? Is that too personal?
No, it's called a mortgage.
All right.
And,
Those.
Oh, yeah,
home
those.
renovations. And
What are you guys renovating next?
Well, we have a cabin that we technically own that's on the same property.
Yep.
But
It's a
too
sweet
small.
little pad, though, man.
Yeah, we just need to gut it out and rejig it to like a proper.
Is anyone in there right now? Like, is this it's almost like a shed right now, a tool shed? Like
No,
nothing in
it's
there.
got a
No.
gym in there, and we have a
Okay.
what's it called? A freaking freeze dryer.
He doesn't use it, though, because he lifts
can
like
tell.
20 Fiats a day at work.
So much.
Fiat 500.
Oh.
Small Italian cars. Just imagine that, people.
Yeah.
I'm yoked.
He's yoked. Yeet.
I haven't had to work out for like 5 weeks.
We can
Good.
tell.
Yeah,
That you have-
withering away.
Yeah. You're
There's-
starting to look like a.
Buddy, my legs are
Yeah.
freaking jacked, but my upper body is like, I look like a track cyclist.
a track cyclist.
Clearly you don't.
You know,
Velodrome.
Tour de France.
Okay.
No, like a velodrome, the sprint cyclist that have the big legs, but the top.
Is it the ones that ride an oval that's slanted?
Yeah.
That's in tracks. Okay, cool.
Okay, my Tour de France, I didn't mean doing the tour. I thought he didn't understand what cyclist meant. So
on a
Right.
bicycle?
Yeah.
he's a simple guy.
So if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was to say push bike, I've told this one to Justin before.
I've forgotten it.
Yeah. What do you think I mean by a push bike?
A push bike is like a scooter, like a razor, like because you're pushing with your foot.
Close, but that's a scooter.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck! I don't.
Is it like a Strider? Is it like
A stroller.
No, it's literally like what you guys would call a regular bicycle.
Don't
But we call it a pushy. We call it a push bike. But I remember
just
saying this to
piss
Justin,
me right off.
and he's like, "Why don't you call it a pedally bike or whatever?"
I wouldn't say anything that's stupid.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Why
The
didn't you
stupid
put it
thing is
better?
why we call it a push bike, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Why not just
We
call it a
push
bike?
the pedals down, I don't know.
Or just a
Just
bike?
Just
like
a bike.
a bike. Bike works.
Bicyclist or a cyclist? Which one do you use?
cyclist.
What's the question?
What-
Say-
Do you say?
Okay.
Would you say a bicyclist or a cyclist?
I don't know if I've heard anyone say bicyclist.
It
I
must
can't
be a-
say what I
a
can't.
thing.
I call them fucking assholes. Get off the road.
Asshole.
That's what I'd call them.
Assholes.
See, I got into trouble the first time I was in Vancouver because
Because you're an asshole biker.
because in Australia, most normal bike riders will ride on the bike path or on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And you use your bell and let pedestrians
On your
move.
left.
Yeah. But here, it's illegal to ride on the sidewalk. You have to ride on the road.
Hmm.
So I was riding in downtown Vancouver, just like on the sidewalk. And a cop stopped me and he's like, "Hey, you can't ride on the sidewalk." And I was like, "Oh, crap." As soon as he heard my voice, he was like, "Oh, you're not from here, are you?" I was like, "Nope, I am not." And he's like, "Well, in this country."
Oh, that's a nice tip.
Always playing the Australian card, hey?
Yeah. Next time I get pulled over, I'm like, oh, I'm not from here.
Oh, I'm gonna try it too.
Yeah, what are you
They're
gonna do?
going
Which
to
one
be
are you
like,
gonna do?
"Where are you from?"
I did it Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
You know Hong Kong? Yeah, you know?
I come a long way from Hong Kong.
And I'll start like stroking my fake Fu Manchu.
Yeah, yeah.
The big-
I can't say that, can I? I can't say it. I can say it.
You can say it.
Say what?
The
Fu Manchu? Is that
Like a lot of
is
people-
that a taboo word?
I wasn't, but a lot of people don't like it now, apparently. I
What
don't
does
know
Fu
why.
Manchu mean?
Fu Manchu is usually associated with
Not a
the
person.
it's a person, but the Fu Manchu had like that long, wispy kind of mustache.
Are we trying to
thing.
delete
Like the-
them
the-
from history though?
the
Like I know,
older
I
Fu
get
Manchu.
it.
The old kung fu masters had the big white
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the
Oh.
long beard.
And long eyebrows too.
Yeah, that were always like up.
Hey,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
this
that's
brings
correct.
this actually reminds me of something that I wanted to ask you guys about, and this is maybe going to be a little bit more serious of a conversation, potentially.
Oh, I thought you were going to rub your mustache there.
My Fu
Hoping.
It's a
Manchu.
little serious.
Okay, cultural appropriation. Okay. So, as we've gone on, we've learned more about it. I certainly didn't know it was a thing and all that. And I know it's especially frowned upon in, for example, like with Indigenous wearing the headdresses and stuff like that. And I actually spoke with Savannah, who's
Savs.
yeah. And because I didn't understand, and I asked her, I was like, well, why? Like, if somebody's dressing up as it, why is that a bad thing? Because, if somebody were to dress up as anybody from any culture, just not in a way to make fun of them or mock them, but say you're going as, I don't know, it's like a dress up party or it's Halloween or whatever. And so I had a really good conversation with her about that, but it came up because my two daughters and myself as well love Moana. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Moana.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Anyways, we'd got a Moana outfit for Jocelyn because she wanted a Moana outfit.
Sure.
And so we got her one, and I think Kate actually eventually threw it away because she was worried about this cultural appropriation. And so I have very mixed feelings about it. I think because she's a child and she sees this amazing character in a movie, strong female, and she wants to embody that. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So is it okay for a child? And if it's okay for a child, is it also not okay for an adult if they are doing it again, not from a place of like, look at me, I'm making a joke of it, but more, hey, dress up as your favorite whatever, and you come maybe dressed up as, somebody from a different culture. Now, I'm not saying you're doing blackface or brownface or whatever. So, for example, Shao, you are really, really fucking stop. I don't think the
Bad thing is
that
that Mike won't pick it up.
No.
And then people think you're an insane.
people say. But you have Hong Kong. So no, is it a bag one?
It's bad.
It's a bag one. So if it was something, and let's say, I don't know, come as your holy fuck, yeah, it got to me.
I'm glad it's going that way. Should we turn the fan on?
Come as your favorite.
Fans gonna blow your way.
We're doing a theme party. Come as your favorite martial arts superhero, and I came dressed up as a Jackie or a Bruce or Jet or whoever, but I was wearing more like actual Chinese, what would be considered Chinese robe. Is that cultural appropriation?
Honestly, I wouldn't care. If it was my party, it was my party, and I made that theme. Right. No, but okay. So this is a good question because I did come across something like this not too long ago. First of all, before all that, do you and your daughters like Mulan?
Love Mulan. Well,
What?
live action. Love the live action. They did such a good job.
Did they? Okay.
Oh, he hasn't seen it.
I have. I didn't like it. But anyways, I
know there's controversy about. I think have we talked about? Anyway, sorry, I cut you off. Continue.
So there was a thing recently on social media. I literally saw this, I think 3 days ago, where in Japan there was a game show that someone it was a singing competition, and this person is doing a tribute to who's the one that sings I see what's that song called?
What? Hayden, you
I
know?
know the song.
What does he
I
say?
see skies of blue and
Yeah, I see
Oh, I know. He sings all the Toy Story songs.
Not Randy Newman.
Are you thinking Randy Newman? You sound like Randy Newman.
He's black. Okay.
Randy Newman is?
Oh my god, why can't I?
I'm gonna look it up for us. So
Please.
but continues.
The research team. Anyways, so he did complete.
Louis Armstrong.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh
So he did a complete blackface in the game show.
yeah.
But
That
everyone loved it there.
yeah.
And on the comments, is I like because sometimes you see a post like, oh boy, here
So
we go.
fun. Yeah. Go right to the
Here we
comments.
go.
Yeah.
And everyone was supporting because one, he was not doing it as a joke.
Yeah.
He sang really well.
Yeah.
And a lot of the black people in the comments were like, I'm not offended. He did really well. It was a lot of support with that. And a lot of people did say this type of stuff, Americans are more anal about, like more upset, more uptight about.
Oh, I can see that.
You know what I mean?
There's
And so that kind of comes along, and that also brings me to the point where, do you remember Lin Sanity, Jeremy Lin, the basketball player?
Yeah.
He's a Taiwanese basketball player. He rose to fame when he played in New York, and he just took over. And they call it Lin Sanity during that period because it was insane how well he was doing. He was a bench guy. Anyways, he got really, really, really good. And one season he had dreads. His hair, he was longer, and he made dreads. And there was another basketball player, Kenyon Martin, who was like, "Don't do that. Like, you're not black. You're trying to be black, blah, blah, blah." And Jeremy Lin just said, "I respect your culture. I just want to be, I just want to pay my respects to your culture. I don't mean to offend anyone." Mm-hmm. And a lot of people took his side of it because he wasn't offending a lot of people, right? He was just, some people kind of said dreads are ours. Whereas for me seeing, if I'm in Hong Kong and I see a foreigner trying to learn about the culture, trying to dress like the locals, we'd love it. Yeah. Culture is not for a specific group. We want people to embrace us and spread. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So, that's my take on it. If your daughters see Moana and take something positive away from it and want to be that because it sends a positive message, it makes them stronger, whatever. Mm-hmm. Why can't it be shared?
Exactly. And why can't that be continued to adults? And that's how I've always seen it. And it's funny because of course there's going to be people who do it disrespectfully.
Yes.
But I think that's the minority. And for me, I wasn't aware of this stuff because it never came into my mind that way.
Yeah.
But then when people start going like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's, cultural appropriation and that's theirs. It's like, but I don't get that, because like you say, it should be shared with everybody, because you could say that about anything. I could say, well, as Canadians, we like to wear flannels and toques. So if I fucking go somewhere and I see, X, Y, or Z wearing a toque, that's fucking cultural appropriation, bro. With a toque with flannel.
You're from Canada?
Yeah.
You're from Canada?
That's where I get it. It's like, so to me, if somebody were to dress how we quote unquote dress, whatever that means, because I know we don't really have the lineage, like the length of culture as of some other cultures, but that wouldn't bother me. I would not care. So when all of a sudden all this shit starts coming up and people are like, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. I'm like, I don't get it.
So
and I'll respect it, because I'm like, okay, well, I mean, but also, what the fuck? That's kind of how I think about it.
So we're talking a lot about the appearance of things like that. So is it kind of the same if I say, hey, Hayden, my favorite instrument and I'm learning is the didgeridoo. Is that, it's like Australian,
if you start playing it,
If I start playing it, will people be like, you're not Australian, you can't play that. That's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I'm not really clear about where the line is drawn in terms of that. Do you have a thought about that?
I'm agreeing with you guys. There's a cultural appropriation and there's cultural appreciation. So if you're doing it for
I like that.
Positive
hashtag that
terms,
episode title.
I love it.
Nah, I'm not going to be the one that coined that, but that's what I have heard and I agree with it. So
I heard it from you first.
It's from Hayden.
Yeah.
It's from me. So yeah, like with the Moana stuff, if you're going and you see that character as a positive influence for your daughter, of course, and she's not wearing it to go and then make fun of Hawaiian people or Polynesian people.
Yeah.
Same with those, like if you were to dress up as your favorite martial artist, if you were to put on like a Mickey Rooney Chinese accent, like the Tiffany's, while you were dressed like that, that would be cultural appropriation and it would be a negative thing. But if you were doing it because you were like, you know what? Jackie Chan is my man. He's influenced me. I got into acting or stunt work or whatever because of him. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
If you wanted to learn the didgeridoo, I'm not an Indigenous Australian.
Yeah.
I can't quote on that, but I think that they would be fine with it. Like some of the Red Hot Chili Peppers music has used didgeridoos in it before. And I hear that and I go, oh, that's an Australian instrument. So I see that as a good thing in terms of...
He's influenced probably.
Yeah. He's from Melbourne. Yeah. So stuff like that where it's in a positive light, I'm like, this is fine. But if it's like a white girl, the stereotype, wearing an Indian headdress at Coachella, that's a no-no.
Okay. Can I?
Jacob, please.
So I want to make a conversation out of this. Why?
Because
why is that not okay?
I think because that is literally just as a fashion statement. They're not there to bring.
So what's wrong with that? If she's doing it because she sees the headdress, they're beautiful.
They're also ceremonial though.
And this is what Savannah got into. She said it's certain people that get them and that are sort of allowed to wear them. And she explained it to me. And I get that for the tribe. So maybe if you're a part of that culture, right? And then you wear it and you're a part of that culture and you're not supposed to, it's frowned upon. But somebody else, if they're wearing it because it's a fucking sweet ass style and they're not doing it to make fun of or imitate, why is that wrong?
Well, that instance is not. But if you were wearing it just one time to a music festival so you were taken notice of.
But why?
I don't know.
This is what nobody can give me an answer on. Why?
Okay,
I'm not trying to be controversial. I want to know.
If you were just to wear that on a regular Tuesday down the street, what do you think would be like people would look at you weird and you'd be like, why are you wearing that? If you were there to say, oh, I'm wearing this to bring, notice to so and so and so, then yeah. But if you were literally just doing it, it's like ceremonial dress, I think, is kind of you shouldn't touch it unless you're part of that. That's what I'm thinking.
So
I feel like, see, it would be okay. So like when we go to Squamish, which is folks that aren't from BC, it's about 3 hours up the coast towards Whistler. And they have little markets there, and they always have the Squamish people have like their own jewelry or their clothing and whatnot. Buying that kind of stuff, I think, is fine because they're obviously selling it and they want to spread their culture around. That I think is fine. Like if you were to wear some other culture's garments that they're selling, or they're like, that's obviously that culture is going, yeah, this is okay for quote unquote non people to wear, but the ceremonial things or the important things nowadays, maybe we should not, or at least ask permission for.
I'm just trying to think of things that would make, people here maybe offended. You know what I mean? So it goes back to the ceremonial stuff where maybe at weddings, there's certain things that other people shouldn't wear except for the bride, right? Like color, like a lot of people say you shouldn't wear the color white if you're not getting married. Yeah. If some people I don't know, you know what I mean? There's so in that world that we created where, okay, we can't wear white unless it's the bride. If someone else didn't know that from another place, comes here, wears white, we see it, we're like, oh, yikes, it's not a little bit disrespectful to the bride. That kind of, you know what I mean? And if they didn't know, if they didn't know, and like it was an event, yeah. So, there's a lot of like asterisks. You know what I mean? If you're part of that tribe that Svana was saying, yeah, to them it's very offensive that like it's only meant for a certain thing, only meant for a certain ceremony, and maybe a certain rank people can only wear it. So I understand why some of them might get offended, but I don't think they should get offended if they know that person doesn't know. If they maybe didn't do the homework, or we didn't ask, that he or she might just have thought that garment looks really nice, really cool, I want to wear it. But if they offend that tribe or that group of people, but they still decide to do it, then maybe that's a bit of a problem. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You can maybe wear it somewhere else, but don't do it.
Yeah, and maybe I'm naive, but to me, when I see that, or somebody dressed as somebody would in a different culture or ceremony, if I see that, and again, maybe I'm naive, but is that not paying homage to them? Like, because they could very easily just be like, fuck that culture, fuck that. But if it's like, ooh, I like that style, or I like that look, and they wear it, is it not paying tribute to that?
So I think it is at first, but if they do say that this is inappropriate to us, it's kind of like if you, it's not a cultural thing, but if you go to someone's house, and you say things, or maybe, just like, this is a weird, different example. If people come to my house and they don't take off their shoes, my mom would find them to be very rude, right? Because culturally, Chinese people, or a lot of
even
Asians,
Canada, man, Canada's like that.
So you take off your shoes when you go inside, but a lot of my friends in elementary school, they didn't. It's common for them to just go in, and my mom didn't know that was a thing, so she thought they were just dirty and dirtying everything up, and she didn't like that. And so if I tell my friends that, hey, can you take off your shoes, and they refuse to, then that's disrespectful. If I told my mom, they don't know, that's part of the thing, and they say, oh, I see how it is. Mm-hmm. So there's a conversation to be had there, where if it is offensive, then okay, and accept it. Yeah. Then if you don't agree with them, then go separate ways. Like that person will forever be offended, and this person wearing the garment will be like, I want to do my thing. I love your. It's kind of like almost getting, Chinese word tattoos or other tattoos and native art tattoo. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't
Chicken noodle.
care. Like, it's great. It's to us, sometimes it's funny because it's wrong. You know what I mean? The character, that's just for us, right? Going back to the party thing though, like if I had hosted a
Whatever.
Chinese stunt, whatever party, and
or just martial arts.
if
part,
Justin came as, you know, wearing a Chuck Norris, you know, the karate outfit that he had or whatever, he's wearing a karate outfit, but he taped his eyes. I would think that's funny.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people wouldn't, but I think that would be funny. And I think it's a big.
You got to
it's a
know
bit
your
of a-
crowd.
Yes, you know your
gotta know
crowd. And if people at the party get offended, then it's up to you to be like, okay, not my attention. I'll take these things off. I don't want to get people upset. Or you might be like,
You know how I'm coming to your next party now,
Yeah.
right?
I Chinese. You know, it's kind of like
Speaking
the
no
ninja
English.
girl. I want to be ninja girl.
Yeah.
So that came across a little bit obnoxious, right? A lot of the facts were wrong.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that she was saying was
Chop
chop downtown,
down to Chinatown.
Love that song. But yeah, I mean, clearly the crowd wasn't enjoying it. There's some Asians in the crowd that wasn't really enjoying it when she was singing it, and her fake accent, although funny at first, was, I think, it's more in the light of making fun versus
To me, that was, and I think there's a lot of gray area in this because, like you say, white girl at Coachella, rocking the headdress. You may get 50% of the people that go, ooh, that's offensive. And you might get 50% of the people within that culture that go, who fucking cares? And that's why this is such a very difficult thing for me to understand, is because it's totally gray.
Yeah. It's I feel like it's a relative thing, right? It's who you talk to at any given time.
Yeah.
And sorry to keep
no,
jumping
please.
on you. If you meet someone that is offended by it, it gives you the opportunity to learn from your mistake and be like,
Yes.
please explain
Exactly.
how this is offensive so I can learn and grow as a human.
Yeah.
So, and I just wanted to jump in real quickly because you guys is language. Because I sent a song in the group chat of bad English.
Mm.
And I was like, is trying to speak that language, even if it's wrong, is it funny? Is it appropriate? Is it inappropriate? I can play the song. Did you listen to it, Justin?
I'd actually seen it before. The one you sent. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was onto something new.
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
Yeah. So when I get Mike Tyson wrong, you can't make fun of me because I'm trying to learn.
No. I mean, of course.
I'm always if it's not from, and I know there's fine lines and there's certain things I'll say or joke about that I'll only do in a closed environment.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, man, if you're an asshole, you're the only person I have a problem with. You know, doesn't matter to me where you're from, how you speak, what you look like, any of that shit, you know? And so I think as long as it's not coming from a place of trying to tear somebody down, it's like, okay, for example, you may do a fake accent or an accent and try and it's funny. And people might think that you're making fun of the way that those people speak when they try and speak English, right? Because when I do an accent, I'm speaking in English, but I'm doing an accent of a Scots or a terrible Aussieman or Chinese or Japanese or American, whoever. And I'm doing it for fun because I'm not doing it to offend. When people do the Canadian accent, oh yeah, eh? Oh, you from Canada, eh? Oh, way up there in the cold, eh? Oh, fuck yeah, bud. Oh yeah. I love doing a Canadian accent. It's fucking hilarious. It does not bother me. So But I guess you just have to understand that some people aren't like that, and they're just offended way too fucking easy. I like you. One of the reasons I really liked Super Troopers too was because of how bad they fucking ragged on Canadians and Canada. I thought it was so funny. It did not bother me. So, I don't know. So it doesn't bother me.
You know the typical Canadian accent? The very,
Oh yeah, eh? Oh buddy, don't even fucking need to tell me about that, eh?
So
I like how that became a thing that generalizes all of Canada.
Dude, it's an Alberta thing.
Educate me on that, because what region is that specifically?
My buddy, Russ, you fucking asshole, you're not listening. I give him a hard time about that all the time. He works in the bush a lot. Oh yeah, eh, fuck, bud, fuck. Oh yeah, they sound like that. Oh yeah, and there's parts of the East Coast, over in Ontario, where they really have the accent like that. But I find a lot of fucking people when I go back, and talk to them from fucking Alberta, and they're just out there hacking darts and fucking driving big trucks around, bud? You know what I'm fucking saying?
Yeah.
To me, that's, I had to try, and when I went to film school for acting, is one of the first things, because you don't realize you have an accent. It's one of the first things, and I still have a Canadian accent.
Yeah.
But to try and lose that fucking type,
North American Standard, baby.
NAS.
NAS. People say, oh, you're from Canada. You say a boot.
I know, that one I never understood.
I've never heard a boot.
Have
you heard anyone say a boot?
Newfies, maybe.
Tito.
Tito.
Yeah, Newfies, because that's another one that gets...
The Maritimes.
Yeah.
That.
They have thick accents over there.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's so different. Whereas people know the States has the New York accent, the LA accent, the
Boston.
Yeah, the Boston.
Southern Texas.
Whereas Canada just one.
Yeah. They've lumped us all in.
But that's the thing.
Oh yeah, fucking living in your igloos,
Everybody thinks we all sound like Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, you do.
Move on.
Move on.
Okay. One of the... Actually, I do want to know, in terms of different... Where would you say the typical Australian accent? That
Australian accent.
That one is probably Darwin or Queensland, actually.
Yes.
Don't know where either of those
Darwin
places
is a
are.
person, by the way.
Yeah.
Charles.
He had a really good theory.
Really?
Do dumb shit, find out?
Yep.
So is that the most general... What you usually hear on...
No.
What about the Simpsons episode? You call this a knife. This is
That's
a knife.
not a knife.
Is that also...
where is it? Like Crocodile Dundee he's in... Oh, I haven't watched it in a long time, but, Mixland is... It's northern Australia in like the bush. But the majority of the population lives in Sydney and Melbourne, which is East Coast, and I think they sound similar. Someone from Melbourne will tell you that Sydney sounds different. And then they won't know where the fuck I'm from, because apparently I don't have...
You don't sound Australian,
anything
really.
Australian in me, like accent-wise.
Would you like something?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, but you're not Australian, neither are you, so... Where are my offers, people? And then where my dad is, there's a lot of British influence, because there's a high British immigration to there. So that's British Australian, which is a little bit more posh. And I feel like they're a bit slower speaking, which is a funny story really quickly. My stepsister, when I was living with my dad for a couple of months before I came to film school and met up with you guys, I was there going, man, everybody here talks real slow. Like they're
in Vancouver?
No, in Western Australia, where my dad was from. I was like, man, you West Coasters, you're so far away from everybody else.
Yeah.
Just think of LA to New York or Vancouver to Toronto. That distance is the same from Sydney to Perth, but there's nothing in between. There's a few little towns, but there's
fucking gas station here and there.
So there's not like you can have a filtering of language from one coast to the other.
Right.
Where it kind of just slowly changes. It's like a big difference. And I was like, oh man, you guys sound a little bit, in my head, I'm like, you sound a little bit like slow, a little bit daft, because
You hear that there, Western Australians? Hayden thinks you're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
The funny thing is, though, is that my stepsister Kia, she was like, she said the same thing about me. She's like,
No.
you sound like you're talking really slow. And I'm like,
Oh, what?
yeah. And I was like, I'm just talking like you so you can understand. Because if I talk normally, you'd probably think I was on speed or crack or something.
You're a rapper.
But apparently my accent is very neutral.
Yep.
But if you throw me in a room with another Australian, like my buddy Sam, who lives at Sun Peaks,
Sam.
Shout out Sam.
it takes us about 2 minutes and apparently we go full Aussie.
Oh yeah.
So, and then funnily enough, I watched recently House MD, the TV show, and one of the main characters is an Australian doctor. And I was like watching 8 seasons of that in binge mode. I found myself picking up some of the inflections that he had on certain words because he's from the East Coast as well. And I was like, oh, I've missed hearing the songs of my people.
Yeah. So question, did you ever have a thicker quote unquote Australian accent, or did you work on trying to lose it, or have you always just been outside of the box?
I think I've always been outside the box, and not to sound like I'm big noting myself, but apparently
I fucking loves big.
Love it.
He always says that,
that's what
eh?
he does.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
I want to sound humble.
Yeah.
I am, and I've heard it before, and I'm not saying it's the reason why, but people that do higher education, like they go to university and they travel, tend to have less of an accent from where they're from because they're exposed to more cultures and more languages that they develop different one. So I grew up, my parents were teachers and my stepdad's family, we were all academics. So I was exposed to a lot of different things, musics and arts and languages and whatnot. So I think that had a big part on how my accent was growing up. Say if I grew up with my dad though, I would have been a lot thicker and a lot more
cunts for sure.
probably
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There would be.
Yeah.
We mate, like sometimes when I get pissy at someone, I will pull out a very Australian oi mate, like angrily.
Oi, mate. So if we ever hear that.
Okay. Okay.
Oi, mate.
Can we end on this? Because we got it. Tito's signaling us. But I feel like we need to set up a scenario where Hayden gets so mad that he gives you an oi mate.
Do you know what? Do you know what gets him angry?
No, he's like the most fucking flat guy I know. Like, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean he's just always good at keeping it. Yeah, he's flat, but he's always just even.
Yeah.
Are you on medication?
No.
Wow. Fuck.
Maybe you should consider.
You should sell your
You should
blood
consider.
because honestly,
Yeah.
whatever is in you.
Because when I was growing up, I was what would have been diagnosed today as a kid with ADHD. I used to run around, scream and climb things and jump up things. And
Did you ever have like kind of a temper?
Oh yeah, when I was up until I was about 14, 15, I used to get so angry all the time.
Yeah.
And I preface it now to people that I meet. I'm like, once I've gotten to know you guys, I'm like, don't ever get me angry because I'm kind of like the Hulk. You won't want to see me when I'm angry because it's not very pretty.
We're gonna cancel this skit we're about to do. Yeah,
I'm
we're
a little
just gonna,
nervous.
yeah, we're not. We're just gonna go ahead and not.
If it's in good fun, it'll be hilarious. But see,
I
if
don't
someone
plan to do
really like just keeps
Go after the jugular.
You know.
going after me for no reason and they won't see reason, I can get a little bit snarky.
Yeah. I can see red too if it gets to that level.
Mhm.
I used to be like, I think around the same as Hayden, like 14, 15, Tito's back, 14, 15. I had I just get angry really easily. And,
Fucking puberty, boys. The
Yeah.
hormones
Horm-
changing
yeah.
that
Went the
age. I
other
can't
way,
wait to
though.
have teenagers in my house. Yeah.
It's funny, like Alex was the opposite of me. She was, well, no, she chilled out as she got a little bit older. Whereas when I hit like that puberty
Careful.
age,
Yeah, you're treading thin
Treading.
water here.
she knows how she was. When she met me, she started to
And now the world does.
she mellowed out. And by the time you met her, which was only like not even a year in, she was way chiller than like when I first met her. I never saw this, but I heard stories from her mum and her sister about how she used to get a little bit
Mm.
angry.
She's always chill. Alex
Now
is
she's
the
very
bomb,
chill,
man.
yeah.
She's the bomb.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So
Okay, well, folks, I think Shao, you should fucking rip us on out of here. Can you do it in your best?
Hong Kong.
I was gonna say Canadian.
Oh yeah, eh?
Yeah, here
So
we go.
Canadian. Well,
Oh yeah.
well, thanks, bud. Hey, thanks, buds, for tuning in.
So bad. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're from Canada, bro.
Bro. Hey.
What do they call like? What do people call like? Don't we say lads and like some?
No, what?
Laddies.
Fuck, Hayden, take us out of here in your best Canadian accent.
I don't have a sound.
Okay, people, we gotta go. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, go ahead, Shao.
Oh yeah, thanks, for tuning into a Chummy Thumb episode. We got a lot of socials you can follow us on, eh? We got the X, we got the Instagram. We have what else do we have? We got the TikTok, right? So next time, just grab yourself a bowl of poutine and open a can of moose heads and enjoy.
Nice. Fucking right.
And enjoy the show. All joking aside, thanks for tuning in, and email us at chummythumbs@gmail.com if you got anything. Leave us comments. We love hearing from you. And until then, keep on.
Sorry, no, don't say it yet. I just want to add one thing real quick because we did talk about cultural appropriation. So I want to know if you are somebody who can speak directly to this, please send us an email because, we love learning and growing. And so we'd love to hear your insights if you come from a place of knowledge.
Hey,
Keep on thumbing, bitches.